Did you know that almost half of all the trimming waste in kitchens comes from fruit trimmings like watermelon, pineapple and citrus?
And yet there are so many creative ways to use every single part of it.
Today we are going to prepare a curry spread using watermelon rind in 4 different ways. I'm gonna trim off a very thin layer of the dark outer skin, and that skin is going to go to the compost. It's very difficult to use because of its texture. That white rind of the watermelon is very delicious, it's full of nutrition, and it's very similar in flavor to a cucumber or to a squash.
Are there any other fruits that you can eat the rind of?
Of course, there is so many fruits that have the skin which is edible but we are wasting it, such as even banana peels and pineapple peels and citrus rinds as well. And yet they create so much waste in our kitchens. So you just want to like trim off all that white rind from its red flesh. Rough chop of the watermelon rind, and I'm gonna combine it with the usual ingredients that we use in a curry.
How would you say the texture changes as you cook it?
It softens a bit. It's gonna be similar to a zucchini. So you really want to treat it in the same way like you would treat a summer squash, or you would treat a zucchini or in a cucumber, especially when you do a cold preparations of the watermelon rind, which we will do in the next step. Hannah, would you mind please heating up some oil in the pan? Once the oil is hot, the next thing goes in there are onions, all the usual vegetables, the watermelon rinds that we had chopped before. The next thing that we are going to do is a watermelon rind chutney. Heat up some oil and have the onions sauteed in the pan. And in the meantime, I'm gonna chop up the watermelon rinds in thin slices. So I'm adding a bit of turmeric, ground ginger, cinnamon powder. I'm gonna toast the spices to bring out their flavor. The next thing I'm adding to the pan, chopped up watermelon rinds. I'm gonna put in some brown sugar, apple cider vinegar, and I will cover everything with water. So we are going to prepare the watermelon rind bhajis as the next step. I'm gonna put some onions, my chopped up watermelon rinds, chickpea flour, corn flour, baking powder, turmeric powder to the bhaji, and I use sparkling water to keep the bhaji nice and crispy and fluffy. So we're gonna mix all of these things together, make a nice batter, and then we're gonna fry it in a frying oil.
So out of interest, are there any cuisines that use watermelon rinds?
There's so many Indian recipes that use the watermelon rind by default as their part. And I think that's perfect because we are not used to do that in the Western countries, but it is part of other regional cuisines. The next thing that we're gonna prepare is a watermelon rind raita, which is a very simple mixture of yogurt and vegetables. It's traditionally using cucumbers, which I'm also using, but I will be also adding some watermelon rinds into the mixture. So I squeeze the liquid out of the grated cucumber and the sliced watermelon rind, and what I'm gonna add now is I have a nice coconut yogurt, and I'm gonna mix everything together to have the watermelon raita ready. We can put together our curry spread dinner.
So impressive. Can't believe there's so many different ways to use watermelon rind in one dinner.
Let's dig in.
How is it?
Really good.
It's really good.
Have you ever used watermelon rind in your dishes? If yes, please let me know below in the comments in what way you used watermelon rind in your kitchen. If you want to learn more about how you can reduce your fruit trimmings in your kitchen and turn them into creative recipes, then go ahead and download our Trimmings to Treasure guide.